Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another video, folks. Today in this video I'm going to show you where to get the most expensive fish in World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King. Now what makes it expensive is that it can only be fished from certain locations, and what we're looking for is the whirlpools here in Dragonblight. So I'm going to show you where these are and how to farm them. So obviously you'll need a fishing rod and lures on it, and you will find a whirlpool like this. I'll show you this location on the map in a bit, and basically you just want to farm the whirlpool. From this we will get the pygmy suckerfish as well as the dragonfin angelfish. So those are what we're looking for. Now the pygmy suckerfish is used for alchemy and potions, so this is quite useful in other professions. As for the dragonfin angelfish, this is a highly sought after fish, and because there is a limited supply, it does make it quite expensive. Now do bear in mind that prices will vary depending on the server. Now, and what's nice about this is that you can only farm these fish from these whirlpool, and I'm referring to the dragonfin angelfish. And once you have despawned a whirlpool, it will take about 15 minutes for it to respawn. Now you can create a path, a fishing path that you can follow, and I'm going to show you that as well. So let me show you the location on the map so you guys can see where I'm at. Let me just do that. So this is where I am right here. This is the first area we can farm it, and we're going to go down here. There should always be two little whirlpools. We'll farm those out as well, and we'll get there's another one right there, as you can see, and we'll quickly fish this one out. And as you can see, we'll be getting loads of things, primarily pygmy suckerfish, dragonfin angelfish. You can get crates that will drop random types of loot, and crystallized water, which is up to you if you want to keep it or not. It's not really that valuable at the auction house, but if you need it, why not keep it, you know? Really, it's up to you how you decide to go about this. So quickly fish this one out, and I'm going to show you the other body of water that will spawn these whirlpools. The other thing that is nice about this method is that it's not monotonous. You're moving around, so it does kind of keep the boredom away. Whilst you're doing this and you're despawning the whirlpools, it just means that other people can't fish it, so you're kind of gaining monopoly on it for the time that you're fishing it. So just keep in mind that the dragonfin only kind of comes from these whirlpools, so that is something to keep in mind, and so that makes them quite expensive. So let's do this. I'm going to show you the prices at the auction house at the end of this video as well, so you guys can see exactly what I'm on about. Now, of course, the pygmy suckerfish, you can find them from pretty much any whirlpool in Northrend. So with that said, it is still expensive, but not as expensive as the dragonfin angelfish. So that is what we're after. That is the price that we are here for. Now in this area that I'm fishing, there's always about 3 whirlpools that we can fish, and of course remember to use lures just to get that extra fish and increase your chances of getting other things as well. Also with the whirlpools, by doing this you do have a chance of getting the turtle. So that is the pool. Next one is one right here, and so that should have anywhere between 2 to 3 whirlpools, sometimes 4. Normally it's 4, but sometimes you can have 2, maybe 3 whirlpools. That is the zone that most people will know, but I've shown you 2 zones you can fish these from, and it's definitely quite lucrative. Now, what I would do if you're going to do this is don't over farm it, don't over flood the auction house with this, so you can keep the price high. As you can imagine, it's a thing of supply and demand. And the other advice that I would give for fishing in general is build up a good supply. We know what is going to come next. We know that there will be the trial of the Crusader. We also have the Ice Crown raid, and of course what happens is people will come back for those raids, and a lot of fish will be consumed in the form of fish feasts, as well as there will be a need for the pygmy suckerfish for the potions, as well as the dragonfin angelfish. So what I tend to do is, whilst I may sell a small supply of it, I am stocking up, so the small supply will help me get anything that I need in the game, keep my finances up, but I'm also stocking up on a lot. So this is kind of, you want to look around the outer edges of this body of water right here. For some odd reason I'm not seeing anything, so it's very possible that other people might have fished them out. So there we go, we've got one right there. I do try and avoid combat with these creatures around this area if I can. Sometimes you might have to kill a creature to just gain access to the pool, but as I said, this body of water will have anywhere between 3 or 4. Now what's nice about this is once you've finished here, you can go back to the first area that I showed you, fish that out, finish all the pools there, then return here, and by the time you return here they should have respawned. So you can go back and forth, and by the time you finished one area, the other area will have respawned. So that is quite a nice way of keeping fishing more interesting. It is quite lucrative and definitely worth keeping your sources of income well diversified. Definitely worth fishing these fish out. So we'll do that, and I'm going to show you if there's any other pools around here. And by the time I finish with this zone, I'm going to quickly head back to the first zone, or first area better said, and show you that the whirlpools there will have respawned. There we go, there's another whirlpool right there. We'll quickly fish this one out. Now, unlike the first video with the fishing that I made and how to make money off of that, with this there is, as you can see, a bit of traveling. It's not monotonous and staying all in one place, but nonetheless it is still a very lucrative way of doing it. So if you fancy doing it this way, then definitely consider doing it. And as I said, even with the first video that I put out with regards to how to make gold with fishing, I would still say build up a good supply for the trial of the Crusader. If you are a raider, that will come in handy. If not, you can always sell it. The prices will go up as the consumption of Fish Feast will go up in price. So what will cause that increase in price is that the consumption of Fish Feast will basically increase due to the fact that there will be more wipes, and this of course is due to the fact that there will be new content, and every time you wipe, you basically clear out the buffs from the Fish Feast, meaning people will have to reapply that buff. So of course that will increase the consumption of the Fish Feast. And I think for some odd reason today I'm only getting 2 here, but normally there's about 3 or 4. So that just tells me that someone has been fishing the whirlpools around here, which is fine, it's no biggie. And as I said, there's about a 15-minute timer on the respawn of the pools once you fish them out. So with that in mind, there's no point in hanging around here. I'm just going to do a quick flyby just to make sure I've not missed out anything, although it seems quite clear. So with that said, I'm just going to head back to the first zone, and by the time I get there, as you will see, it will have respawned. Yeah, I'm just having a look here, because sometimes it can appear a bit dodgy. So that's fine. There's nothing here. Just gonna basically go back now, and we'll show you the other zone, and you'll see that it will have respawned. So there's no reason for us to hang about. I'm just being stubborn here. But yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting. So what I'm finding interesting is that there's only 2 whirlpools that have spawned. Whereas I expect at least 3, maybe 4. Generally get 4 whirlpools there, and I'm just, you know, maybe someone just farmed 2 of them and then kind of left the area, got bored, left the area, and so that just left 2 whirlpools for the spawn. So yeah, it's one of those things. Sometimes it happens. I do like to be extra safe. And I'm also stalling for time a tad bit just because of the respawn timer. So I do want to show you this with an uncut part of the video, so you can see that I'm not making this up. And normally by the time you fish out one area, then you go to the next. By the time you finish the second area, the first area that you fished out will have respawned. So that is also a thing I'm trying to show in this video. So I'm not trying to stall it to make it longer. I'm just trying to show you that it does work, and it is definitely a good source of income as well. So we're gonna start. I always start up here just because, I don't know, I think this is like the first place I come and look. So let's have a look. Nothing there. There's another one right there. So I guess that shows you the other area up here where the whirlpool can spawn. So basically from here on, it's just a rinse and repeat. We'll do this area. We'll go back to the bottom of the waterfall, do the 2 whirlpools down there, and then return to the area where we just came from, and just rinse and repeat until I have a good supply. As I said, I personally am also building up a good stock for the release of the Trial of the Crusader, and that is because I know the price in these supplies will go up, and so I can also make a nice hefty profit off of it at them times. Again, I'll be doing the same thing for the Ice Crown when that gets released, when that is open, just because people will want stuff like this. So it's definitely a good advice to start stocking up now whilst the prices are down. At least that is my opinion, personally speaking. So let's have a look at the prices here at the auction house. We're going to start with the pygmy suckerfish. Remember, this is useful for alchemy and making potions, and these are the prices here on my server. A stack of 20 is just about 40 gold. If you spend a couple of hours doing that, just remember you'll be having quite a few stacks. So 40 gold per stack, I don't think is a bad price at all. Let's have a look at the dragonfin angelfish. We'll do that as well. And as you can see on my server, it is very expensive, and that is because there aren't many people farming this. So a stack of 10, 70 gold, a stack of 20, 110 gold. So as you can see, well worth the price. Now just imagine how much more expensive this will become with the release of the next raid. So one thing I want to show you is the general price per fish. So let's do the dragonfin angelfish, and as you can see, that is kind of the price per fish. It's well over 5 gold per fish. Let's do the pygmy suckerfish as well. I always have worries about how this is spelled, but that's fine. There you go. Still an expensive fish, and as you can see, there isn't really all that much on the auction house as well. So again, there's a chance that this can increase in price, seeing as it's a very useful material. And so that is pretty much it. Now it's up to you how you go about doing gold. I'm going to put out quite a few guides with regards to making gold in the future. At least that's the plan. I'm going to look for ways to make gold in the game, because it's one of the things I like to do. And of course, a lot of things here in Northern are quite expensive. So far I've come out with 3. 2 of them are fishing. I'll be looking for more ways of making gold, so do stay tuned. And when I've got a guide to make, or if you've got a suggestion for making gold, please put it down below. I will be looking into it, and some of you guys have given me suggestions. I have been researching them as well. That is pretty much it for this video, folks. Thank you all for clicking on this video. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it useful and informative. And as always, until next time, stay safe, folks.